Hello, everyone. Happy New Year, and welcome to episode 4 of OneMindZone Inspirational Conversations, the podcast that teaches you how to reach a balance of body and mind. Here, we inspire people with different experiences, and the stories of our guests will make you think and look to your life through a new perspective, less stressful and more positive. If you still don't know me, I am your host, Jogile, and I'm running the website OneMindZone.com. And today I'll be talking to Anusheh Petersson. I chose to speak with Anusha because now more than ever we spend a lot of time at home with ourselves, and it's a great chance to learn about yoga, movement, and mental well-being. And Anusheh is a yoga teacher in Berlin who has been working for more than 10 years in different styles of yoga, like different types of hatha yoga, including hot yoga as well. She is also trained in Ayurveda, Aura-Soma, Reiki, meditation, and is continuously educating herself in anatomy, energy, and consciousness work. So I really can't wait to get it started. Hello, Anusheh.
Hi,
Finally,
Yogile.
finally,
Yes,
we can speak together.
yes, I'm really looking forward to it. It's good to see you, good to talk to you.
And, when I met you, that was at the end of 2008, I think, in Berlin, right after I moved from Portugal to Berlin. And at that time, I was going myself through various emotional difficulties. Like one of them was grief after losing my father, also the depression that was related to moving to a different country and trying to adapt to the new rhythm of that country. And life brought us together to work together at some point. And I just always remember that the first impression about you was this calmness, this patience, and this peacefulness, And for me, it just blasted me like, wow, someone is just so calm, because I was completely the opposite in that time. And I remember just once you were saying, we were speaking about yoga, and I was telling you that I tried once in Lithuania a long time ago. And you just offered me to join your class, the yoga class, because at that time you were doing your teacher training at the studio around the corner from the place we were working together.
Yes.
And I just went, I just said, okay, I just went, and you just like reopen this gate to yoga world for me again. And I think this was the best decision in my life, because this was the point where I really started practicing, and I started dedicating myself to yoga for all my life. And through the years, I've tried many things, and I tried different studios and classes and styles afterwards. And I can really say that this helped me so much, and mentally, physically, and all other ways around. And yes, and this is why I really wanted to have this talk with you, because I thought we have to share this time. We have to share with the people, for those who's also maybe not feeling mentally and physically okay at this moment. So first things first, for how long have you been practicing yoga?
I looked it up actually right before we're talking now because I wasn't sure. Time flies. It's 14, 15 years now.
Wow.
14 or 15 years almost.
And how did you get started?
I remember like my first yoga thing was actually with an ex-boyfriend who got up in the morning out of bed, started to do asana. I didn't know that then, but like to move his body, breathe deeply, made weird sounds. It was a little weird, I thought, but I was definitely interested. And when I think my roommate did some yoga back then, and she took me to one class at her university, and I had one lesson there with her. Had an interesting meeting with the teacher who gave me some support, pushed me forward on my back, and I just melted. It just melted over my legs. I remember that. And then I was kind of hooked. So that was like just little situations, not so deep stuff where I met it first. But yeah, I went to my grandmother's on a regular basis that time. And there I bought myself my first yoga book, which was with all the postures you could look up and some information about the breathing and stuff. And I started to do yoga there. I was on vacation. I had, I don't know, 2 weeks for myself. She had this huge mirror in her dressing room. And I took my time and I started to do the poses, checking in the mirror, like, is that right? How does it feel? And I ended up doing sun salutations for, I think, 2 years then. Like every morning, that was my thing. I really got hooked. That was the very beginning.
And was your ex-boyfriend like a yoga teacher, or was he also just self-trained person?
Just self-trained, self-trained, yeah. But very, very strict, I would say. Very strict. He had really this routine, like every morning, did a lot of yoga.
And then,
was
it like from the first time when you said that you tried and you just melted? And was this the time that you really realized that this is the thing you want to have it constantly? That this is why you want to dedicate your life for that?
No, not yet. Not yet. Okay. That was the first moment where I got hooked, where I realized this is something. What did she do there? What's my body doing? That felt amazing. Mm-hmm. And having the sun salutations every morning over the years was also a great routine. And I remember being so, so surprised about myself. That was more the body, the moving part, that I was at some point able to put my forehead to my knees and stuff like that on my own because of this practice, this continuously practicing. But when I met you this year, that was a little later, and then I had hot yoga. I was in the Ausbildung, the training, the teacher training, had the hot yoga, and that is where it was like, bam! I did this 10 days yoga in the studio. I went by just one day and saw the advertising, 10 days yoga, €10. And somebody called me and said, we have to go there. We have to go there. This is so great. I love it. Come on, let's do it. Let's try something new. And I think after the second or third day, I was on fire. I went to the main teacher and I said, what is this? I need to learn this. When do you start? Where's the training? Give me something. I was really on. That was the real moment where I realized this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do for a living.
And what type of yoga do you teach now?
Right now I'm teaching Hatha yoga, I would say, mostly. I did after the hot and vinyasa yoga. That was the first training I did. I did a few years later, I did the Anusara yoga, which is also a Hatha yoga, which I love, which just, that's my kind of thing.
And what do you like about this particular form of yoga, meaning Hatha yoga?
Well, Hatha yoga, what I like about it is that I have enough time to breathe and to realize where I am, what I'm doing. I'm not the flow type of person. I like that too. A good flow is great. But whenever I have the chance to decide, I would definitely prefer the Hatha yoga because you do a posture, you look inward, you feel it. You can do the next posture. Of course, there's also a little bit of flow, but depending on who's teaching.
And what is your mission as a yoga instructor? Do you have your idea? And who are you trying to reach and why? Do you have specific target group or people or?
I really think that yoga is for everybody. I really think so. If you open for it, if you want to try it, you will probably get something out of it. For me, yoga is about consciousness. That's like the main thing, that you realize who you are, how you treat yourself, how you treat others, how you live your life, what's important to you. Yeah, that you stay in contact with yourself while living your life, while doing all your things you have to do, still realize what's going on. And I would say that's kind of my mission, to help people to show a way so they can be a little bit more conscious and closer to themselves, I would say. And that, I think, everybody can do. You have to be willing, of course. It's not gonna just like happen, you know. But if you're up for it, yeah, I think everybody can do it.
So you say that you actually don't specify in a specific type of the people, and you say that everyone can actually do it, no?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you have to, of course, you have to be careful when you have like injuries and stuff. That's not a question. And certain body types need certain yoga practices and stuff like that. But I have really young students. I have much older students. There's men, there's women. It's all there, I would say. Of course, there's people who are coming and saying like, well, maybe that we could say, I just want to train my body. I want to be fit and healthy, look good and stuff. Then I say, of course you can come, but I don't know if you're going to be happy with me as your teacher, because then it's probably a little bit too slow. What I'm teaching is a little bit too much. How do you feel? Look inside, take a deep breath, stuff like that, where you feel when you want your body trimmed, maybe that's not like enough in a way. But you can definitely train your body with yoga. That's for sure. It's a different kind of training, I think. And again, it depends what kind of yoga you're actually practicing. So maybe I have for like my targeting group is more people who really want to look inward. This is more fun for me as well. Maybe we could say it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's funny, like when I started doing yoga, even with you and stuff, I remember that first, of course, there is a effect on the mental state of the whole mental well-being, but it's also very big input on the body, like a muscle building, the different muscles, building the muscles, which I maybe didn't know that I had before. Like, and you say like, okay, maybe the people, the ones who wants to have a bit more fit body through the yoga, actually, I believe you can do it even with a slow motion, but you have to be regular, very regular, or daily or every second day. And I realized that also that the slow moves and slow, like even like going deep into some asanas, it really helps. It makes my legs like strong, and to build the muscles and the whole back, and so it's also the people who thinks that maybe it's also working actually.
Well, this is not, it's a good point. You're right. It's definitely a good point. I didn't mean to say that it's not like a training, but if you're looking for like exercise only, if you just want to lose weight or just want to build up a lot of muscle,
Right. It's not
then I think it's not the thing. You can do it. There is like, if you go in hardcore flows and you can do a lot of push-ups with it and stuff, you can definitely build up muscle, lose weight. Yeah, it's not the main focus, I would say, but I totally agree with you that the slow yoga is hardcore.
Yeah.
Definitely, it's
It's
much
even,
harder,
yeah,
much harder than everything else to hold the pose, and then I think this is kind of the secret.
hmm,
This is the secret, to hold the position and then to breathe, to have this deep breath, to like put your body into the perfect position, that
hmm,
you lengthen your spine and you feel like if you put down your foot now, then this energy line goes all the way up to your leg,
right.
into your hips, and from there you stabilize, and then you can lengthen it through to your heart, and then to your hand, and then you pull back the energy. So if you start to flow in energy lines,
Yeah,
and if you don't need so much pressure, but you build up strength
exactly.
anyways. Yeah.
And how would you say how the yoga changed you as a person, or what yoga done to you as a person?
Nice question. I think I am a kind of a calm person naturally already. This is how I was born a
That's for
little
sure.
bit.
Or maybe
Yeah.
let's say the
Um,
years of the training and experience and practicing, the spiritual activities.
mm,
Maybe no?
that they made me calmer, you
Yeah.
mean? They did, but I think I was pretty calm before, kind of. Yoga made me even, it made me more connected, I think.
Hmm.
Made me more connected, made me a little more open as well, forgiving, definitely. Definitely. I have a little bit more room, more
Hmm.
space, I would say.
Also mean connected uh, with just yourself as a body, or with also with other people?
I think through a better connection to myself,
Hmm.
is a more honest connection to other people, definitely. And since I'm doing the yoga every day and I'm being in contact with myself, I'm much, yeah, it's more honest. It's a true connection, because I'm really connected to myself and know how I feel, what's important to me, what I don't like. Yeah. And it also made me, yeah, aware. That's with the being conscious, but also aware of everything that happens around me. I'm a little bit, on one hand, I got kind of nicer to myself. On the other hand, I also see more of the dark side, I
Mm.
want to say, so I'm also a little bit more, it's not so easy to say, um, not judgy, but I see my mistakes, or when I repeat my mistakes, when I don't get out of this loophole, when stuff is repeating itself, when I'm lazy, and yeah, I'm also more honest to myself to say like, hey, this is not the right thing. You had another plan, so come on, move. What's going on? Yeah, it's not always nice.
Yeah, but I think this is the funny part of this. More you're practicing these things, or yoga, or meditation, or mindfulness, you become more aware of everything what you do, what you say, the feelings of everything. As you say, you start finding yourself when you are judgmental, when maybe you are jealous, or maybe all of these things. And the funny part that then you start criticizing yourself, and you're like, oh, but this is not right, and this is not okay, maybe I should change this and should change that. And this is all comes together because there are many people around who is not practicing, neither yoga or meditation, and they never question themselves in their
Exactly.
life. They never even think maybe that they might be wrong or might be, I don't know, behaving the way how it shouldn't be, you know.
Yeah, and when times are not good or not so good, then you might think like, much better life, little jealous, want that too. But it's just, it's, I love the life I'm living. I'm really thankful for being conscious and seeing all this dark stuff, and it really is a part of me. And I, I'm so thankful that I found this way and really am able to work with myself like that, and yeah, work through all this.
And how it, like through all of the years of practicing yoga, how would you describe how it evolved your relationship to your own body through all this time?
It was interesting because before I practiced yoga, I was kind of in that state where I didn't think so much, yeah, I would
Mhm.
say, and where I just enjoyed my body. I mean, I was in around 20 or something.
Mhm.
I just loved my body, had a good time, really, you know.
Mhm.
And when I did yoga for myself in the very beginning, I remember I got a different appreciation for my body, definitely. How I can move it, what I'm actually able of, what I'm capable of, what's, I didn't know about it before so
Mm.
well. And then when I started to teach yoga, it changed a little, I have to say, because then a lot of projections also came, because
Mhm.
then you're the yoga teacher. And
Mhm.
as a yoga teacher, kind of, I remember how I looked at my yoga teachers. Um, you have to be perfect and kind of skinny or well trained, or this is, you don't have to.
The
Now I
society
know.
standard, you mean?
Exactly. Thank you, society standard. Thank you very much. Because I'm not a skinny person, I've never been a skinny person.
Well, but no one also said that everyone has to be, See, that's the thing,
Yeah,
because this is
but
only what the magazines are dictating.
definitely. But the crazy part is that when I was younger, I thought about it. Then was a time where I just enjoyed myself.
Mm.
Then came this yoga part, and then I realized, there was another pressure. I mean, this is now maybe as a yoga teacher, I don't know how other teachers feel about it, but I remember in the very beginning, it got a little harder, and I was a little like, maybe I have to train more, or I'm sharing this now, First, my relationship got a little more worse to my body, to be
Mm-hmm.
honest, because there was so much focus on it
Okay.
suddenly
Yeah.
from myself and from others.
Yeah.
And it took some time to let it be again, to realize, like, hey, this is my body. This is not about the body. It's okay. Um, yeah. But growing into this teacher seat, I really also grew into all this projections
Mm.
and what people think, what I think about myself, what I want to, how I want to be seen, stuff like that. It
Would
took
you
a
s-
while.
would you say
Took a
that
while.
then yoga is more physical or more mental exercising?
Both, I guess. um, um, you could. What I know about myself, I have been to yoga classes that were physical.
Mm-hmm.
Just where I see I'm standing, I'm doing my postures and working with my breath, but it doesn't do anything to me.
Mm.
Nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
This is how I feel. It's like, okay. Um, I think you needed both. You needed both. Definitely for myself, I need the mind I need the mind, I need the deep breathing, I need the awareness. So it means something to me. That's for myself, yeah.
I started actually, I'm reading one book since a while, which is a lot of like, is actually like a training for many people who has many problems, emotional problems or like addictions and so on. And this kind of created program for people. So I'm reading at the moment exactly a very detailed information about this program. And they've been saying, well, there's mostly about the meditation actually, and about the mindfulness and all of the techniques of the meditation for a specific problem and specific maybe feelings. And they are saying a lot about that actually meditation is yoga can be as a meditation, or yoga it is actually as a meditation or mindfulness practice, because we go with the with a totally aware mind. We're doing the exercise the same time, we're not doing anything else, we're doing only that and stuff. So it was very interesting, because before I really didn't know that you can replace, you can maybe one day do the just meditation and a day maybe just do yoga, because it also counts as a meditation. So from that, I have also to you the question to ask you, do you think is yoga a way of life, or is this a way of to exercise and to meditate?
For myself, with everything I've said before, is definitely a way of life. Because if you allow it to, then it really changes you being conscious and aware, and then yoga can be everything. That just like meditation, like when you're folding your laundry or stuff, you know, and
Right.
you take really deep breath and realizing what you're doing, how you're standing, feeling your feet, being aware of everything. That's like one thing, where it's a way of life where you can just invite it. And then also when you're meeting people, the way you talk to them, how you treat people, how you like live your daily life. So yeah, it's definitely a way of life.
Why how do you think why so many people are or may feel intimidated by yoga? And because very often I also speak to my friends, and I always promoting yoga and always say like, oh, you have to try, you have to do, because it's amazing, you will start feeling good and you will start feeling your body and stuff. And I realized that many people are actually having this kind of engraved belief that yoga is just something what the Indian yogis do, and this is something way too magic for them, or way too like, oh, this is yoga, this is something like completely different. And I always try to say like, no, no, this is something what actually every person should do, to be calm, to be aware, to be just to be yourself, to feel yourself. But so many people are really so scared of this. How can they overcome this fear or this just like false belief?
Well, you can only overcome it if you try it. That's for sure. You just have to try it. Just give it a shot, you know. It's worth it. Give it a shot. Do like 2 or 3 yoga sessions and then you will know. I think a lot of people, yeah, have pictures in their head about it's either only women sitting around doing nothing, it's boring, and you're not moving your body, which is so funny because, you know, where the yoga comes from, it was men. It was only men
That's true.
practicing. So
Yes.
the Western part of the world, yeah, has a slightly different picture of yoga.
Mm.
Um, yeah, so probably a lot of people are scared as well. You know, is this something you cannot touch? I mean, it starts when I tell you, take a deep breath into your belly. It's like, what? How can I mean, if you're not connected to yourself, you might feel like, how do I breathe into my belly? That doesn't work. Or think to your right toe or something, and then push it. And then you don't have the connection. So maybe people are missing something they can, like touch, something they know, something is like for real, and is a little too much huji woo woo, you can say, with the yoga. They're scared it's not a real thing. But I had a lot of I remember that we had a lot of dancers and really trained people in the yoga place, and they suffered. They suffered in the yoga practice. They were really, they came in there like, no problem, I'm strong, I have, I have the perfect body, I know my body, everything's fine. And they suffered because it was such a different movement, and they needed strength where they didn't have it. Like you said in the beginning, how you'd use different muscles. It's not the same as a regular exercise. So it's so hard to describe it whenever you you're leaving this formal pictures, this formal or things you can touch, you can explain. I think people are scared, mostly, I would say.
Scared and also lazy. I think.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people, I also have to say, who tell me, I tried yoga 2-3 times. It's just not my thing.
Okay.
It's just not my thing. I don't want to breathe into my belly. I don't want to be conscious all the time. I just want to work out. I want to feel my limit. I want to go over it. Or it's too static and they like dancing. So it is for everybody, but it's not everybody likes it. That's also okay, right?
Right. So as you said, that for people to overcome this yoga fear, they should just give a shot and try themselves 1, 2, 3 times, just try to see how it feels. So how do you describe to those people what is the evolvement changes in experience during all of the practice through the years, in a body, in a breath, mind, spirit?
So for myself, I realized that my whole body works a lot better all together. Because of the connections I could make, or I was able to make because of yoga, that I realized it's all connected. My feet have something to do with my hips, and my right shoulder with my left side hip, and with my right knee, and how it all works together. And realizing that throughout yoga practice helps you move your body in, like, on a regular basis, much smoother, much nicer. So you will definitely feel change there from your whole body structure. And I realized that I think almost everybody has can you say that, like patterns, like stuff you're doing, like when you're sitting, you're always, I don't know, having one shoulder down, or bending one leg, or whatever it is. And this constant yoga practice makes you realize what kind of habits you have, like how you're using your body actually. And me, myself, I realized that, and I with the knowledge about it, the experience about it, I really tried to work against it. So whenever I'm standing somewhere waiting, maybe people can connect to that. You stand somewhere and you just like, you're hanging, or you're sitting somewhere and you're really losing it all. And this is situations where I really lift myself up, where I realize, like, okay, I put 2 legs I put my 2 feet on the ground, pull in the navel a little, take back my shoulder, step by step, and my whole body lifts up, opens up, and I'm aware of myself. And then I might lose it again, and then I get it back. So, definitely will give you better connection to your body, to your habits. That will change if you want it or not. You will realize it. And I was also able to breathe a lot deeper, a lot, and to be with myself, I would say, to just, with a calm mind, to just be. Sit somewhere and let it be. It's okay. It's enough to just be, to sit here, breathe, feel myself, take a few minutes, and then go on. Yeah.
For me, I remember before starting like really regular practice, I always had the lower back pain all the time. And I never been before to the doctor to really find out what was the thing. Now, after years of practicing, I realizing it's been the wrong posture all the time, And through this practice, I really understood how to stand correctly, how to keep the shoulders back correctly. And I have to say, after I started in like maybe in a couple of years, my pain disappeared completely. Yeah. And this is, I always say also to the people that first thing, it's going to fix you physically in some way, or going to put everything in the right places, and will maybe relax some tensed muscles, because we are not aware of our body at all when we walk or when we sit, as you say.
Yeah.
Or when, I don't know, also another way, like when we do sport, if it's not yoga, we do another type of the sports, is also very important to hold your body in a correct posture, also not to damage yourself, not to damage your muscles or your body. So this also gave me a lot of awareness in doing everything around, like no matter what you do, doing something, you're always aware of yourself, even how you move. So
exactly. So it's a good, like we said in the beginning, I think when people start with yoga, it is physically, just like you said right now. It is physically first, because you probably cannot go that deep so fast.
Exactly.
To relax your mind and to this breathing. I remember it took, I think, over 2 years. When I had my first yoga class as a student, where I was constantly breathing.
Yeah.
Like where it really was, where my posture, my body followed my breath.
Yeah.
And throughout 75 minutes. I remember afterwards I felt like flying.
Yeah.
But it took 2 or 3 years. I cannot say exactly, but it was a long time, because of course you forget to breathe, and then you get tight and you want to achieve something, and there's the position.
It was exactly me
it.
in the beginning, remember?
I know.
I
And then it's
can
like,
do it.
and you see these people who are standing on one leg, and they're pushing, and then they're just like falling. They just fall because there's so much pressure. There's no room for, you have to let go a little.
Yeah.
To really, let the body work for you.
Yeah, the breathing, it took me, I think, forever, because in the beginning you were saying, Yogi, don't forget the breathing. I was like, I have no time to think about
let breathing. Me be, I have to push.
I'm just focusing on the posture, and afterwards I was like, oh my God, it takes really a while.
Somebody comes and tells you like, push out your leg. Now hold it. Take a deep breath. Relax your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Now relax your forehead. Pull in your belly. Now breathe out. Pull in this. Push out this. And you're like, whoa.
Exactly. Too much information.
Just too much. Yes.
But slowly, step by step, all of these things come at the on the right time when we are ready and when we prepared for that. That's for sure.
And when we practice. This is the hard part, but this is how it is. You have to practice. If you don't practice, nothing's going to change.
Like with everything in the life, no?
Exactly. So you see, again, yoga is like a, it's a way of life.
Exactly, it's a way of life. What you would say to the people, what top qualities should someone look for in a yoga instructor and studio?
Well, it's important that you feel comfortable with this person. I think it's also very important that they don't push you too much, but just enough. You don't want anybody who tells you to do more, go deeper, it's not enough, or who maybe even pushes you physically. I think that's too much, that you feel you can go on your own pace, but in the right moment you get maybe like a little push. And I think it's also very important that, I don't know if it's hard to figure that out, but to find a teacher who cares for you the way you do the asana and the postures. Not just to, okay, I'm the teacher, I show you how it's done. Look at this, this is the best way. And then you have to follow. It's more like if you find a teacher who can help you yourself to find your way into positions, into yoga, into breathing. This is, I think, the most important part. Yeah, it's hard to have like bullet points. You can just like check. It's a deep feeling. You have the feeling of connection, but really try to find somebody who lets you do it your way. I think that's important. Who shows you the way? Who's not like?
Do you think it's in the beginning? Is it better to start from the studio, from the private teacher, or just starting yourself with a YouTube and internet? What do you think?
If you can afford it, because of course one-to-one is more expensive, but if you can afford it, you should do that, because this is the greatest way to just really do it the way you need it, your practice for your body, your tempo, the whole thing. If it's too much money, then go to a studio. And the last thing is really this internet stuff, because that you can do when you have some practice, or let's say you go to a studio on a regular basis, and then from time to time you do the online stuff. That's okay too. But you should have somebody who checks on you.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of asana, a lot of positions where it's important to really pull in the navel, or that your knee is really right on a straight line over your ankle or something, and you can really hurt yourself. So, I mean, I did it, but I think that was 2 years or something. I did it for myself, just with the book. I did it with a mirror. That worked okay, just to check, and I looked at the pictures in the book and I copied them more or less, and then I think 2 years later I went to the studio and I got new input. But it's always good. I mean, that's what we're there for too, as teachers, to support and to show the way. So
I think it's very important that someone in the beginning shows you the correct way, how it's supposed to be.
And you can ask questions, you don't just get the information and you think like, okay, I do it kind of that way. You can really ask, like, what does it mean to breathe into your belly? What does it mean to pull together your shoulder blades? How do I do that? How does it feel when your foot is really grounded, or whatever question comes up? So yeah, have
Because it's also
somebody.
so easy to do it wrongly or everything, and then you're gonna actually do it opposite, not good but bad for yourself
Yeah.
as well.
And what also happens is then your body get used to it.
Exactly. Yeah.
We had a lot of people, especially in the hot yoga, I have to say, there were the silent classes where everybody could practice for themselves. And
So teacher is not saying anything in the silent
teacher's
class.
not saying anything, exactly. And is also not supporting, not doing hands-on or something. And then some people, you get used to a certain form of your body, like we had before. If I'm always sitting like this, then this is my regular sitting posture. So my body gets used to it. And that also happens in asana. And then suddenly when somebody comes and shows you the correct position, you're like, no, that feels wrong. That's not right. So your body gets used to it, but it's actually not good for your body. So yeah, definitely have somebody to support you, to help you.
Let's go a bit more to the spiritual side. Well, it's all for my eyes is all together connected. Something like yoga or meditation for many people is just an internal practice. How do you think, at what point does it become connected with something outside of the individual, with something more? Like, I leave it space to you.
Nice. Um, well, this has also something to do with when you're becoming your practice, when it's something you do on a daily basis, or when it starts to when yoga is part of your daily life, yeah, that moment it already starts to affect the outside, right? When you start to share what you get out of yoga, that moment, I would say, it's not such a big thing. I hope it happens automatically. And then the world gets better. I mean, it's so simple and might be a little lame, but this is when I get your question right. This is what I think when you work on yourself and you're connected, you start to treat people different because of that connection, and they feel treated differently through something else. And this is how it is. That how I got? Did I get the question right?
Yes, yes. I also, yes, just for me, the outside of individual is also could be like, do you also think that at some point you really, it becomes not about you individual, but becomes like a more spiritual thing, more like connection with our universe or with some stronger energy power, something?
Well, that I had these moments definitely in meditation, like then only for myself. Then I can only speak for myself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that moments in deep meditation, where I sometimes even felt I don't want to come back because it was such a great connection and so peaceful and so just like easy and open. And I also had it in Shavasana, in the last position in the yoga, when you just, after practicing and moving your body, when you just lay down, try to be conscious and realize how you feel. I had it too. Also with deep heart openers. Yeah, it happens. I think it happens, for me, it happens when I really let go.
Yeah.
When I let go, when I either did the kind of work, let me say, in meditation with sitting, if it's like a still sitting meditation, or there that also had happened with dancing meditations, or when there was a lot of movement and then suddenly comes
Yeah.
space. Yeah, but you have to do the work before. That's what I wanted to say. If there is like a little, even cracking, uh, either cracking the heart open with positions, or really doing a tempo, or yeah.
I
Does that
remember.
make sense?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's a
that
little
totally makes
tricky.
sense because I remember myself. I still lived in Berlin, and I don't know, that was maybe something like 5 years ago. And I was going to do the classes at the studio. I was also doing the meditation at the studio, and one day I had really down day when I was really, I think I even was crying because it was something, I don't even remember what was that, but I know that was really depressing day. And was also raining like crazy, was also gray. And I remember I went to the class of 1.5 hour hatha yoga class. Was pretty fast, intense class with the jumpings and stuff where you always feel like, okay, this was a proper workout. And right afterwards, it was another 40 minutes meditation, 45 minutes meditation.
Perfect.
I have to tell you, I never felt better in my life, ever. I never reached that state afterwards, ever. Like, really, I just I left the class. I felt because, inside in me before I was just like boiling in my anger or in my stress or in my things or like problems and so on. And I just wanted to cry. I left the class and I felt as like this outside of my human thing. I was just smiling all the time. I had like this shield, like friend of mine is saying, this buzz, this positive buzz around you,
Nice.
and I remember I just had no any problems in my mind. And I remember myself leaving the studio and was raining like crazy. And I was just walking with umbrella, smiling. I was just walking, not even thinking about where I go, what I do, just like going with the flow and very positive and very, and as you say, it takes, you have to do a work to reach this state, but you can reach it. And for me, this was, and of course, the years afterwards, I was also doing in yoga, meditation, so on. But it's funny, I never managed to be specific that type of the state what I've been there, So even though if I'm even practicing now more, maybe, or even meditating more, I still didn't reach that state, So
I really think that it changes, and that the more open you are, like body or mind wise, it doesn't matter, the harder you have to work to get to that point.
yeah.
Because I remember in the beginning of my training, this whole, you think about a heart center. And it was kind of, most of the people were protecting it, shoulders
Yeah.
forward, and don't come too close to my precious
Yeah.
heart and my emotions. And then when you start to do this yoga position, then you start to actually open up and feel your shoulder blades and open your chest and things. I I had the best feelings of deep crying, opening, realizing what's going on. But it got less and less, because once your body is open already, you have to work deeper, 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 and open even more to
Yes.
get to that certain point. So this big wow moments, they really were in the beginning, and now I have to kind of work a little harder for them, I have to say.
So more you
But
grow, more you have to put more input in it.
yeah, with the meditation is the other way around, I would say.
Okay.
That wasn't so easy in the beginning. That it's now easier to go deeper, faster
Yeah.
when I meditate and get to that point.
Yeah.
Well, maybe this is what happened with you under the umbrella. Change of perspective, but then you had it once
Probably.
and it was huge.
Yeah.
Best feelings, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Would you say that you growing as a child or teenager, were you spiritual already back then?
Mm, yeah, doch. Yeah, I was spiritual. Yeah, I would say yes. Yes.
And I remember from our talks years before, and because we've been friends for more than 10 years, and I remember you always were telling me about your yearly annual Buddhist camps
Yes.
you were going, and I remember this you were telling me about all of the experience, the nature, the whole community feeling, and so on. So, how this annual Buddhist camp contributed to your spirituality? And yeah.
I was so lucky to find that because of a friend of mine who took me when I was teenager. I think it started. Um, well, it made me aware of the fact there's something bigger, definitely. It helped to have like-minded people around me. That was a special thing. And I have to say, I think it also helped me that there was no pressure in a way, but that I realized that there's a lot of people who believe in something,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not so hard. It doesn't have to. I I remember there were 2 or 3 years where I felt I should know about all the Buddhist goddesses
Mm-hmm.
now, because if I consider myself being a Buddhist, then I really should know everything, And I started to read all those books, and I realized, like, not my thing. I
Doesn't
know two
connect
or
with you,
three.
no?
No, it's not my. It was too much. There's
Yeah.
2 or 3 who really interest me. So I know a lot about them from people who told me about it, or I read about it, but it was not about knowing
Yeah.
it all. So it was more having these conversations with people, seeing that people, how they behave actually.
Mm-hmm.
This is again this, I think they were, like we said about yoga, like conscious with what they're doing, what's important to them, how they want to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
And they tried to treat people the same way. And I think realizing that, um, uh, some more space opened up, some more room opened up. And for me, that has to do with spirituality,
Yeah.
having this space, being able to feel yourself, your surrounding, be open for everything that's around. Yeah, I think that helped a lot. And also being there like once a year,
For how
having
long
great
usually you were
teachers.
going there?
That was 2 weeks.
Oh, it's a plenty of time to really
Yes,
connect with yourself, actually,
yes, yes.
and to detach
And
from everything around. That's true.
there's always great teachers, like the real Lama, but also all the other attendants. They were always the best teachers as well. Just in this regular daily life, being together, realizing
Are you
what's
still
going on.
going to these camps?
Yes,
Because
yes,
I know that you have a daughter now, and she is still pretty small.
yes.
And so, are you going now with her and with your family to these camps, or is still for you the single journey?
No, I go with my family. The good
Oh,
thing
so
is that
sweet.
yes, this whole camp was actually that it started. Oh, I don't remember, long before my time,
Mm-hmm.
and before there were only students by themselves, and they had this really they had this retreats where they were only sitting, no talking, total silence, stuff like that. But the older everybody got, the more children they got and families and the whole thing. So the Lama said, let's do a family camp.
Yeah.
That makes much more sense. So they're very open for families, and there's always workshops and space for children. So yeah, definitely going with the whole family.
And how was being a mother changed your personal yoga practice and your teaching?
Made me more relaxed. I have to say, because man, you have no choice. You know, when you're on your mat, you want to practice, but she doesn't want to. You know, she doesn't know what's going on, so she's jumping around under, over.
Is she trying to
and
imitate
front.
you and try to?
Also, as well, yes. But then you know, you think about yoga, this serious thing. Now I'm sitting on my mat, I'm relaxing, I'm opening up my own space. Mama, somebody comes from the side, you know, it's over. So it made me a little bit more relaxed and a little bit more, kind of going with the flow. You know, whenever I have time, I can go on the mat. Maybe she comes, she disturbs me a little, then I have to do it again, or I have to find an alternative. Okay, I was on my right side, I wanted to do that first, doesn't work, she's there, so I start with the left side. It made it all a little lighter, more lighter, I would say. Yeah, which was, for me, was a good thing.
And when you were pregnant, for example, were you practicing yoga still?
Yes. And I remember, Yogi, I love that, because I was kind of, you know, proud of everything I achieved over the years as a student. I remember being in a hot yoga class, and I was, I think, maybe no, I don't remember. I had a huge belly already, and was one of these hot yoga classes. And I did them on a regular basis. And I remember having this one person behind me who was really like sporty kind of person. I know her for a long time. And there were a lot of those people in the classroom. And the teacher was teaching. It was kind of hard flow, fast. And I had my breathing, you know, but that's the most important thing when you're pregnant and you exercise. This constant, really nice, deep breathing. And because of all my practice and all these years of experience, I really made it through this class with a constant, nice breathing. I did all the exercises, and I saw the people around me collapse, like one after another, took breaks, sat down, went down, was really like, and me with my big belly, like, flowing easily through my practice.
Maybe you got the energy from your daughter inside as well, you know.
Probably as well. I think it was the breathing. This is definitely a hymn for the breathing and for constant breathing. I remember I was proud that day, where I felt like this is a great thing that it works like that there's still enough energy and strength. It's a different kind of strength. It was not the pushing and stressing kind. It was a total relaxed, deep strength.
What other benefits can a mother to be gain from a regular yoga practice? Because I also lately I have more and more friends who's getting pregnant or having kids, and I also try to give the presents, the books, you know, about like the way how to raise them and what to do. And I think it's very important for them to know what benefits they can get from the regular practice while they are pregnant.
Well, they shouldn't start practicing yoga during the pregnancy if they haven't done it before. This is really important, because it's a new thing you do to your body. And because it's not only exercise and movement, it does a lot with your organs because of the compressing and the deep breathing and stuff. Don't start with regular yoga during your pregnancy if you haven't had done it before. You can always do the pregnancy yoga to start with, I think. If you do yoga during the pregnancy, it really helps you to first have some space for yourself, something you do for yourself, which is important. Have some time to adjust to the changes of your body. That is also very helpful. Stay in contact while your body is changing. And then also this connection to your body and to your breathing is actually helping a lot when you're giving birth. And also later on when you have challenging moments with your child, just to, stay connected with yourself. Don't go crazy. Not only with children, maybe husbands, wives, friends, whatever, whoever is there. But I mean, there's a new person coming, when a baby's born, there's a new person coming. So it's great advantage if you know yourself before there's coming somebody new to your life, to your world.
How does being a yoga practitioner influence how you relate to your children and on the same time to yourself?
Well, I realize when I don't have enough space, definitely. When I don't have enough space, not nice to say, but then I also scream at my daughter, for example, and which is not a nice feeling. So once again, if you stay in contact with yourself, if you have a connection, I'm not relaxed enough, I need something. What can I do? How do I get support before I start to scream or nag or do whatever? So it's again the consciousness, the being aware of what you're doing, so you act in order to the situation. Yeah.
Beautiful. So slowly we are going to the end, and I would like to ask you to do the last call to actions for the people who maybe don't believe or don't never tried, or maybe they would actually should take a try, and just anything comes out from your mind. What would you say to them?
Just go for it. Be brave. Be brave. It's really worth it. Yoga is such a great way of life, way to treat yourself, way to treat your body, other people. There's a lot you can achieve. So give it a try. And it might take a while until you find your teacher, but it doesn't have to. Maybe you get lucky, you find somebody very fast. Don't give up, I think. Really have like 3-4 trials to see if it's your thing. Once again, be brave. It's worth it, I would say. It's a lot more than exercising, and you can get so much out of it. This is definitely gonna change your life for good. This is a big thing to say, but I'm saying it anyways because I'm sure of it. This is always this is going to change your life, but it really is what to do. So
it is. And I mean, what in the beginning, when you're a beginner, what the best thing is to do is just try all of the, I mean, now it's a bit difficult to do all of these things with our current situation with the COVID, but once is like the possibility, just try all of the promotional packages from different yoga studios, because you can get like 10 classes, 10 euros, or there are different packages, like a couple of months, and you pay only, I don't know, 30 euros or something, and try as much as you can of these. So you also will not lose money in doing too much in the beginning, and you can really find out which style do you like, the way the teacher you like, or maybe, like,
You know, what I would love to say, Yogi, what I just realized is when you asked me what everybody should do to find the right teacher, what is a good thing, it's also important to look for their experience. It's a great thing to support. I just realized that when you said try everything you can, because it's a great thing to support newly teachers. I was a, fresh baked teacher myself once, but really see that you feel comfortable and safe, that they know what they're talking about. Right. This is also important. So that you don't hurt yourself or, get into stuff you don't like. That's look for the experience they have, and if they're really knowing what they're doing, if they're doing it themselves. A good teacher is always a good student, or even greater student, to say. That was one last thing I wanted to add.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just realized this is a big tip. This is important. Now everybody runs out and does the yoga and
with whatever who.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, just one more little tip.
Yeah. But let's say, I think in the beginning, when I tried, of course, I tried in your studio, and this was also the long journey for me, maybe the longest journey from all of the studios I've been. And well, I even worked at some point there. But I have to say, afterwards or in between, because you remember I was the one who was super excited to try all of the yoga studios in Berlin.
So I remember you.
I was trying all of these special offers, because I really wanted to find out what is going on, what is existing, what styles of yoga there are. And I have to admit, I really went through many also very weak teachers too, and this is what's good. More you do, also more you see who is actually the proper teacher, who has a big experience, or who is doing just like a robot machine, like from
what's
the book.
Real shit, to be honest? What's the real shit? Who's the real shit? There's big differences. There's weird people out there, and sometimes maybe even people. I remember when you cannot stand the voice, for example. You probably
happens so often to me.
And then you think like, shut up, please. Exactly. Don't stop talking. And then you have to, relax, open your heart. But somebody says it with a voice where you just want to. So that's a great practice. But that's why I said, like, try 3-4 times. Or you said, like, take all the offers you can get. Because, there's so many. It's so important to find the one that you like. The voice, the pace, the whole appearance, then the style of yoga, the studio, the room, how it smells, what kind of people are coming, so on. Yeah.
Exactly, because in a time, if you stick to one place, it's also becoming like or maybe you can be your future friends, or can be also the community, the people you relate to. And especially that's important for the people maybe who is feeling lonely, or maybe who doesn't have friends, or, or newcomers in a new city. It's like also the great opportunity and chance to meet other people, and to meet the good people, because most of the good people are going to the yoga.
Nice one. And once you found your teacher, I mean, that is great. It's also great for the teacher if people are constantly coming back, because then you see what's happening with the body, right? You can, if you have a teacher, he starts to know your body and your posture as well. So he can give you special tips. And remember, when you started to work at the yoga place, you were kind of more in the focus of the teachers as well.
Yeah, a lot. Classes, I tried all of them.
They saw you more, and they knew your name, and they knew your, your behavior and everything. And then they could either calm you down or push you in the right moment, stuff like that. So it's great if you can build up a connection with a teacher or studio.
Wow, with this note, with this note, I think we will finish today.
Yes. It was amazing.
Oh, Anusheh, thank you so much for dedicating this time. We did quite long, and I'm very happy that you agreed to have this conversation with me.
Thank you, Yogi. There was a lot of fun. It's a great thing you're doing. I like that you're offering it to the people.
And I mean, I always have this feeling that since the beginning, we always were connecting very easily in many levels, in the spiritual levels, in the yoga levels, in the friendship levels, and so on. And this is for me like I think from the beginning, I mean, this podcast is about actually sharing with the other people experiences, and of course to also show my path through the life that all these people actually being part in my life. And this is because of these people I am who I am now. And this is because of these people I learned many things from them. And this is why I'm very happy to have you here, so people could also see this journey from another perspective.
Such a sweetheart. Thank you. I'm really grateful for this connection.
For those who live in Berlin and are interested in having a lesson with Anusheh or joining the Zoom class, as I know she's also doing it, as always, I leave all the information with her website, with Instagram and so on below on the description of the video here on the YouTube. So you can easily find all of the contacts and contact her as soon as you want. And thanks everyone who watched this episode. Hopefully our talk caught your interest to try yoga. If you never tried before, of course, and or maybe it reawakened you in case you tried before and forgot about it, how Anusheh did with me back then, 12 years ago. And one or another way, keep on practicing and you will see the results coming your way. This is for sure. And if you want to get any tips about yoga, mindfulness, meditation, nutrition, self-awareness, subscribe to OneMindZone.com newsletter. It should appear somewhere right here. I don't know. And receive also a free guide for your stress management. You can also subscribe to this channel and receive notifications as soon as the new episode of Inspirational Conversations is published or any other video. And yes, so don't wait too long and start this year with new and healthy body and mind. And see you next time. Namaste.
Namaste.